My name is Nana May and this happened to me. The video arrived at 9:17 p.m. Not from my daughter, not from my son-in-law, not from anyone who should have warned me. It was sent to the family group chat. The one I muted 2 years ago because I was too sensitive. I almost didn't open it. But the thumbnail, it was my daughter, standing at the edge of a lake, and someone laughing behind the camera. I pressed play. The wind was loud. Someone said, "Just do it already." My daughter's voice nervous. "I don't want to." Then a splash. The phone jerked downward as whoever was filming burst into laughter. "She's so dramatic." I froze. Read the caption beneath the video. Family weekend fun face with tears of joy. Fun. My hands began to shake. I typed, "What is this?" No one answered. Instead, my phone buzzed again. A private message from my son-in-law's sister. "Oops. Didn't mean to send that to you." Oops. That was when something inside me shifted. Because my daughter does not swim. She nearly drowned when she was 9. I was there. I pulled her out myself. And now, they pushed her. And they laughed. I called her immediately. No answer. Called again. Straight to voicemail. I stared at the ceiling and whispered, "Why was I the last to know?" Silence. Then a bank notification popped up. Card declined. Unusual activity detected. My heart dropped. The card was linked to the savings account I had quietly opened for my daughter 5 years ago. The one her husband didn't know about. Or so I thought. I opened my banking app. Access restricted. Restricted. My son-in-law works in digital compliance. He knows how to navigate systems. He once told me, smiling, "You should really simplify your finances, Nana. It's safer if everything is centralized." I had laughed politely. Now I wondered, had I been rearranged? Replaced? Removed? I tried calling again. This time she answered. Her voice was quiet. Too quiet. "Mom, are you okay?" A pause. "I'm fine." "You were pushed. It was just a joke. Do you sound like someone who's laughing?" Silence. Then, softly, "Please don't make this bigger." Bigger. I felt something crack in my chest. "I didn't raise you to accept humiliation," I said carefully. She inhaled sharply. "You don't understand." "Then help me understand." Another silence. Then she whispered, "They said I needed to loosen up. That I'm too serious. My daughter, the one who organizes birthdays, remembers allergies, keeps peace at dinner tables. Too serious. Did your husband push you?" I asked. A long pause. I slipped. "You don't slip backwards, sweetheart." Her breath hitched. Then someone in the background said, "Who are you talking to?" Her voice changed instantly. "No one. No one. After everything I sacrificed, I was now no one." The call ended abruptly. 10 seconds later, I received a WhatsApp voice note from her husband. I hesitated, then pressed play. "Nana May, I think you're overreacting. It was a harmless prank. You know how families are. We joke. We bond. She's fine." He chuckled lightly. "Please don't cause drama." Drama? I replayed the splash in my mind. The way she had said, "I don't want to." I stared at the voice note waveform. He sounded calm. Too calm. And that's when I remembered something. 3 weeks ago, my daughter had sent me a screenshot. A draft of a digital will. She had asked casually, "Mom, do you think it's morbid to prepare early?" I had said it was practical. Now I opened our old messages and searched. The screenshot was gone. Deleted. My stomach tightened. Why would she delete that? Or, who had access to her phone? I opened the family group chat again. The video was gone. Replaced with photos of barbecue skewers and sunset selfies. No lake. No splash. No evidence. I scrolled up. 3 messages had been deleted. By the admin. Her husband. I took screenshots of everything. Because something was wrong. And I could feel it settling into my bones. I called my brother. The only person who has ever truly seen through silence. He answered on the second ring. "What happened?" I didn't speak for a moment. Then I said quietly, "They pushed her." He didn't ask who. He didn't ask why. He just said, "Send me everything." I did. 5 minutes later, he called back. "Do you know who owns that lake property?" "No." "I do." He paused. It's under a holding company. And, and the director is your son-in-law. My heart pounded. But that property was purchased last month. With what money? I whispered. He didn't answer immediately. Then he said something that made the room tilt. Nana, your daughter's name is listed as co-signer. I sat down slowly. She didn't tell me. Maybe she couldn't. The air felt thin. And then my phone buzzed again. A hospital notification. Shared location request. From my daughter. Live. I accepted. The map opened. She wasn't at the lake anymore. She was at a private clinic. And the note beneath the location said only this. They're making me sign something. I stood up. My hand steady now. No more shaking. No more confusion. Because I understood something clearly in that moment. They thought I was quiet. They thought I would stay quiet. They thought I would keep the peace. They did not know my brother. And they certainly did not know me. But what I didn't realize yet was that the lake was only the beginning, because the document she was about to sign had my name on it, and I was about to find out why. End of chapter 1. If you'd like, I will now continue with. My name is Nana May, and this happened to me. The nurse looked at me and said, "You're not listed as family anymore." That was how I found out. Not from my daughter, not from my son-in-law, not even from a lawyer, from a nurse. I was still in the parking lot of the private clinic when the message came through. Visitor access restricted. I had driven 40 minutes in silence. My brother stayed on the phone the entire way. Don't react emotionally, he said calmly. Observe. Ask questions. Let them speak first. I nodded, even though he couldn't see me. I stayed quiet to keep the peace, I whispered. Not tonight, he replied. When I entered the clinic, everything smelled too clean, too polished. The kind of place where decisions are made quietly and signatures are collected politely. At the reception desk, I said, "My daughter shared her location with me. She's here." The receptionist typed something. Her face changed. "Ma'am, are you immediate family?" "Yes, I'm her mother." Another pause. More typing. "I'm sorry," she said softly. "You're not listed on her consent file." Consent file? My chest tightened. What consent file? The nurse approached then. Young. Nervous. "Are you Nana May?" she asked. "Yes." She hesitated before saying it. "You've been removed as emergency contact." Removed. Just like my bank access. Just like the group chat video. Just like my place in my daughter's life. When? I asked. 3 days ago. 3 days. 3 days before the lake. My phone buzzed. A message from my daughter. "Don't argue. Please." I typed back. "What are they making you sign?" No response. Instead, her husband appeared from the hallway, smiling. Too calm. "Nana May," he said warmly. "You didn't have to rush down here." "I wasn't invited," I replied. His smile flickered. "She's just updating paperwork. We're restructuring assets, modernizing things." "Restructuring what?" I asked quietly. "Our future." I studied his face. "You removed me as her emergency contact." He gave a small shrug. "It simplifies things legally once couples are married." I felt something cold settle into my spine. "I was her emergency contact before you were her husband." His jaw tightened slightly. "She's an adult now." "Yes," I said. "But adults don't accidentally fall into lakes and sign documents in private clinics." His eyes hardened. "Careful, Nana. That sounds like an accusation." "No," I said softly. "That sounds like a question." Behind him, I saw my daughter sitting in a small consultation room. Her clothes had been changed. Her hair was still damp. Damp. They hadn't even waited for it to dry. I stepped forward, but the nurse blocked me gently. "She's in a private session." "With whom?" I asked. The nurse hesitated. "With legal counsel." Legal counsel. Inside a clinic. My brother texted. "Check public registry." "I'm pulling corporate filings." I typed back quickly. "They removed me as emergency contact." His reply came instantly. "That's not the worst of it." My pulse jumped. Before I could ask what he meant, my daughter finally looked up and saw me through the glass panel. Her eyes widened. Fear. Not annoyance. Not embarrassment. Fear. She stood abruptly. Her husband stepped into the room to block her. I couldn't hear them clearly, but I saw her lips move. I didn't know she'd come. He leaned close to her ear, whispered something. She stopped arguing, sat down again. My hands began to tremble. I wanted to scream, but I didn't. I just nodded, because silence can be louder than anger. After a few minutes, he returned to me. She doesn't want this to escalate. What is this? I asked. He exhaled slowly. She's signing medical power of attorney over to me. It's standard. Standard. Why in a clinic? I pressed. Because we're updating fertility records. The word hit me like a slap. Fertility. She didn't tell me she was planning that. She doesn't have to, he said coolly. My phone buzzed again. My brother. Nana. Listen carefully. I stepped outside. The night air was cold. What? I whispered. That lake property? It's leveraged. Leveraged how? Against your house. I stopped breathing. That's impossible. Your name appears as secondary guarantor on a digital collateral file. That's forgery, I said. Not exactly. What does that mean? It means someone used your biometric authorization. I felt dizzy. My biometric, how? Did you ever scan anything for him? Help with an online verification. Memory flashed. 3 months ago, he had asked me to verify a family insurance plan. Said it would lower everyone's premiums. I had scanned my fingerprint on his tablet. He had smiled. You're a lifesaver, Nana. I swallowed hard. I didn't raise him like this, I whispered. You didn't raise him at all, my brother replied gently. Silence. Then he added, the lake push video? I ran enhancement on the audio. And you can hear him say something before the splash. My heart pounded. What? He says, now she has no choice. The world tilted. No choice. Choice about what? I walked back inside. This time I didn't ask permission. I opened the consultation room door. My daughter looked up, startled. The lawyer in the corner frowned. This is private, he said. I'm her mother, I replied. She's not listed. I know, I interrupted calmly. That's what concerns me. My daughter's hands were shaking as she held the tablet. What are you signing? I asked softly. She avoided my eyes. Just paperwork. What kind? Her husband answered for her. Power of attorney and financial consolidation. Consolidation of what? I pressed. Our marital assets. I turned back to her. Did you read every clause? She hesitated. Yes. Out loud. She swallowed. No. I stepped closer. Then read clause 7. The lawyer stiffened. That's unnecessary. It's her right, I said. My daughter scrolled. Her voice trembled as she read. In the event of incapacitation, all shared and inherited properties shall transfer fully to the acting spouse. Incapacitation. Lake. No choice. I felt cold. And clause 9. I asked. She scrolled further. Any prior financial guarantors may be legally dissolved without notification. I looked at her husband. You planned this. He leaned back. This is paranoia. No, I said quietly. This is pattern recognition. The room went still. My daughter looked between us. Mom, please. Did you know about the collateral file linked to my house? I asked her. Her face drained of color. What? He stood abruptly. This conversation is over. No, I said firmly. And for the first time in years, my voice did not shake. Did you know, I repeated, that my house is backing your lake property? She stared at him. You said it was approved through corporate credit. His jaw tightened. It is. Then why is my biometric signature attached? I asked. The lawyer shifted uncomfortably. This is becoming inappropriate. No, I said. This is becoming visible. My daughter's breathing quickened. You used her, she whispered to him. He snapped, don't start. Start. That was the word. Because something was starting. Not ending. Starting. She slowly lowered the tablet. I'm not signing this tonight. The room froze. He stared at her. You don't understand the consequences. Explain them, she said quietly. His voice dropped. If you don't sign, the restructuring fails. And, she pressed, and we lose the property, the lake, the push, the leverage. I looked at my daughter. When did you stop matching? And clause 9. I asked. She scrolled further. Any prior financial guarantors may be legally dissolved without notification. I looked at her husband. You planned this. He leaned back. This is paranoia. No, I said quietly. This is pattern recognition. The room went still. My daughter looked between us. Mom, please. Did you know about the collateral file linked to my house? I asked her. Her face drained of color. What? He stood abruptly. This conversation is over. No, I said firmly. And for the first time in years, my voice did not shake. Did you know, I repeated, that my house is backing your lake property? She stared at him. You said it was approved through corporate credit. His jaw tightened. It is. Then why is my biometric signature attached? I asked. The lawyer shifted uncomfortably. This is becoming inappropriate. No, I said. This is becoming visible. My daughter's breathing quickened. You used her, she whispered to him. He snapped, don't start. Start. That was the word. Because something was starting. Not ending. Starting. She slowly lowered the tablet. I'm not signing this tonight. The room froze. He stared at her. You don't understand the consequences. Explain them, she said quietly. His voice dropped. If you don't sign, the restructuring fails. And she pressed. And we lose the property, the lake, the push, the leverage. I looked at my daughter. When did you stop matching? I asked softly. Tears filled her eyes. I thought this was partnership. It was control, I said gently. Her husband turned to me. You've always interfered. I stayed quiet to keep the peace, I replied. That was my mistake. Silence. Heavy. Then my phone buzzed again. My brother. One more thing. I opened the message. A document. Filed earlier that day. A petition draft. Requesting medical psychological evaluation. For my daughter. Submitted by. Her husband. The reason listed. Erratic behavior. Emotional instability. Risk to financial decisions. My blood ran cold. They weren't just restructuring assets. They were building a narrative. I looked at my daughter. Did you know he requested a psychological review? Her head snapped toward him. What? His silence was answer enough. And that was when everything changed. Because now, it wasn't about a lake, or a signature, or property. It was about removing her credibility. Legally, systematically, quietly. And if they succeeded, she wouldn't just lose assets. She would lose her voice. I stepped closer to her. You are not unstable, I said firmly. He scoffed. Don't poison her. No, I said calmly. You've done enough of that. The lawyer gathered his files. This session is terminated. Good. Because the war had just begun. But what none of us realized yet was that the clinic visit had triggered something else. Something automatic. Because when my daughter refused to sign, a pre-scheduled notification was sent to someone else. And by the time we stepped outside, 2 black cars were already waiting in the parking lot. My name is Nana May, and this happened to me. The first thing I saw when we stepped outside the clinic was a phone pointed at my daughter's face. Not a doctor, not a nurse, a phone, live streaming. Is that her? A woman's voice whispered behind the camera. 2 black cars idled under the streetlight. The engines hummed softly, like they were waiting for permission. My daughter froze beside me. Her husband exhaled sharply. Who called them? Them. That word. As if this was routine. As if people with cameras and legal observers simply appeared when wives refused to sign. The woman holding the phone stepped forward. I'm documenting for transparency, she said calmly. Transparency. She introduced herself as part of a family wellness advocacy group. I had never heard of it, but my brother's voice echoed in my head. Observe. Ask questions. My daughter gripped my hand. Mom, what is happening? Before I could answer, one of the car doors opened. A man in a gray suit stepped out, holding a slim tablet. Ma'am, he said to my daughter gently, we received a pre-consult alert regarding your mental state. We're here to ensure you're safe. Safe. The humiliation came in waves. People in the parking lot were watching now. The live stream phone tilted closer to her face. Comments scrolled across the screen. She looks unstable. That's the wife from the lake video. Poor husband. Lake video. It had spread. My chest burned. She is not unstable, I said evenly. The man in the suit glanced at his tablet. The report indicates erratic behavior, financial impulsivity, and emotional volatility. Submitted by whom? I asked. He didn't answer directly. Her spouse. My daughter's breathing quickened. I never consented to this, she said. It's a wellness check, he replied smoothly. Her husband finally stepped forward. I didn't want it to come to this, he said, loud enough for the live stream. Loud enough for sympathy. She's been under a lot of stress. I'm just trying to protect her. Protect. I wanted to scream, but I didn't. I just looked at him. Protect her from what? I asked quietly. He met my gaze. From herself. The cruelty of that sentence. Soft. Calculated. Devastating. My daughter shook her head. You told me you canceled that request. He avoided her eyes. I postponed it. The gray-suited man stepped closer. Ma'am, if you cooperate, this will be simple. A short evaluation, just to confirm stability. And if she refuses? I asked. He paused. Then we escalate. Escalate. The word echoed in my mind. My phone buzzed. My brother. They're pushing for involuntary observation. Don't let her step into that car. I felt cold. Involuntary. That's how it happens. Not screaming. Not dramatic. Just paperwork. I leaned close to my daughter. Look at me, I whispered. She did. You are not crazy. Her lips trembled. I feel like I am, she admitted softly. Because humiliation does that. It bends reality. The live stream camera zoomed in. Why is her mother interfering? Someone commented. There it was. The narrative. Overbearing mother. Fragile wife. Concerned husband. I stepped forward deliberately into the camera frame. My name is Nana May, I said calmly. The comments paused. And if you are watching this, I continued, ask yourself something. When did caring about your child become interference? Silence. Even the woman holding the phone shifted slightly. The gray-suited man cleared his throat. This isn't helpful. No, I replied. What's not helpful is diagnosing a woman in a parking lot because she refused to sign financial documents. That landed. The husband's jaw tightened. Stop twisting this. Then untwist it, I said. He lowered his voice. You're making this worse. I didn't start it. The suited man's tablet pinged. He frowned slightly, then looked at my daughter. Ma'am, did you consume alcohol tonight? No. Any substances? No. Are you experiencing hallucinations? She blinked. No. Then please explain the lake incident. The live stream comments exploded again. Yes, explain. She jumped, didn't she? My daughter's face flushed. They pushed me, she whispered. Her husband cut in immediately. It was a joke. A joke, I repeated. I turned to my daughter. Did you say you didn't want to? Her eyes filled with tears. Yes. The suited man looked at the husband. Did she express resistance? He hesitated. It was playful. Playful. I felt something shift in the air. Because now, he had admitted it. Publicly. The woman holding the phone looked uneasy. The comments began to change tone. Wait, she said no. That's not funny. Micro-reversal. Small, but real. The suited man adjusted his posture. Ma'am, he said to my daughter, do you feel threatened in your marriage? Her husband's head snapped toward her. Careful. That look said everything. She swallowed. Long silence. The live stream held its breath. Yes, she said quietly. Everything stopped. The husband stepped back. That's ridiculous. The suited man glanced at his tablet again. Another ping. His expression changed. He turned slightly away and answered a call. Yes, I see it. He listened. Then his tone shifted. Understood. He hung up. There's been a filing error, he said. What kind of error? I asked. The psychological petition appears to have been flagged for procedural irregularities. My brother. He must have moved fast. The suited man continued. We cannot proceed tonight. The black car doors closed. The live stream phone slowly lowered. Humiliation turning into confusion. My daughter exhaled shakily. Her husband stared at me. You did this. No, I said calmly. You did. He leaned close, voice low. This isn't over. I know, I replied, because I felt it. This was escalation, not resolution. The woman with the phone cleared her throat. We were just ensuring safety. Then insure it fully, I said. Review the financial filings, too. Her eyes widened slightly. What financial filings? He glared at me. I had just opened another loop. My daughter looked at him differently now. Not afraid. Aware. Awareness is power. Small at first, but dangerous. We walked toward my car. Halfway there, my daughter whispered, "Mom, there's something else." My heart tightened. What? I didn't delete the digital will draft. Then who did? She looked over her shoulder. He has access to my cloud. Of course he did. How long? I asked. Since the fertility appointments started. Fertility. Clinic. Consent forms. Control. She hesitated again. He also changed my medical portal password last month. I stopped walking. Without telling you. He said it was for organization. Organization. That word again. Restructuring. Simplifying. Centralizing. Removing. My phone buzzed again. My brother sent a short message. Check corporate transfer logs. There's movement tonight. Movement. I opened the link he sent. Lake Property Holding Company. Ownership adjustment filed. Timestamp 9:42 p.m. Right now. Right when the evaluation failed. He was moving assets. My daughter saw my expression. What? They're shifting something, I said. She turned toward her husband, who was pacing near his car, typing rapidly on his phone. What did you do? She asked him. He didn't look up. Damage control. For what? She pressed. He finally faced her. For your instability. There it was again. The word. I stepped between them. She answered questions calmly. She accused me publicly. You live-streamed her humiliation, I said. He smiled faintly. No, that was concern. Concern. That's how reputations are dismantled now. Not with shouting, with documentation. My daughter's voice shook. Did you leverage my mother's house? He went silent. That silence was confession. The air felt electric. You said corporate credit, she whispered. It is corporate credit, he replied carefully. Backed by family assets. Family, meaning me. I felt sadness then. Not anger. Sadness. After everything I sacrificed, I had become collateral. My daughter's shoulders straightened. I'm not signing anything, she said. You already did, he replied quietly. My heart dropped. What? She breathed. He showed her his phone. A digital signature confirmation. Timestamped earlier that evening. Her face drained of color. I didn't. You authorized via biometric last week during fertility intake, he said smoothly. Biometric. Clinic. Tablet. I remembered her telling me she had scanned forms quickly because the nurse was rushing her. You tricked me, she whispered. No, he said. You trusted me. Trust. Weaponized. My phone buzzed again. My brother. Tell her to check Clause 12. I opened the document and scrolled. Clause 12. Any consent obtained under marital advisement shall remain valid unless legally challenged within 48 hours. 48 hours. Clock ticking. My daughter looked at me. What do I do? For the first time, she wasn't asking him. She was asking me. And that's when I realized the power shift had begun. Small, fragile, but real. I took her hand. We challenge it, I said. Her husband laughed softly. You don't even know what you're challenging. I met his gaze steadily. No, I said. But my brother does. His smile faded slightly. You keep mentioning him. Yes, I replied. Because you don't know him. And that's when his phone buzzed. He glanced at the screen. His expression changed. For the first time that night. He looked nervous. What? My daughter asked. He didn't answer. I stepped closer. What happened? He swallowed. The Lake property transfer. Yes. It's been frozen. Frozen. He looked at me slowly. What did your brother do? I didn't smile. I didn't gloat. I just said softly. He noticed something you didn't. And what's that? He demanded. That pushing someone into a lake is reckless. Silence. Then I added, but pushing paperwork through fraud, that's criminal. His face hardened. This isn't over. No, I agreed quietly. It's not, because what he didn't know yet was that my brother had found something buried deeper than the collateral file. Something older. Something with my daughter's maiden name on it. And when that surfaced, the lake would be the least of his worries. My name is Nana May, and this happened to me. The email arrived at 6:12 a.m. Subject line, verification request, maiden name record. I was already awake. I hadn't slept. Every time I closed my eyes, I heard the splash. Saw the comment scrolling. She looks unstable. I opened the email. It was from a digital registry authority. They were requesting confirmation of identity for an inheritance transfer linked to my daughter's maiden name. Inheritance? My heart pounded. My daughter never mentioned any inheritance. I called my brother immediately. He answered on the first ring. You saw it, he said. What is this? I asked. He exhaled slowly. Your late father placed a dormant trust in your daughter's maiden name 15 years ago. I sat upright. My father never told me that. He didn't want anyone to know until she turned 35. She's 34. Yes. The room went still. And someone, my brother continued, attempted early activation. My breath caught. Who has access? He didn't need to answer. Her husband. My son-in-law. The one who smiled softly and spoke about organization. The one who said I was interfering. I whispered, how much? Another pause. Enough to pay off the lake property twice. My chest tightened. This wasn't about restructuring. This was about acceleration. He wasn't just leveraging my house. He was positioning himself to control her inheritance before she legally matured into it. And then, the psychological evaluation. If she were declared unstable, he would control everything. I closed my eyes. I stayed quiet to keep the peace, I murmured. Peace was never the goal, my brother replied. My phone buzzed again. A message from my daughter. Can I come over? 3 words. Fragile. Yes, I typed. When she arrived an hour later, she looked smaller, like someone who had been shrinking for months and only just realized it. We sat at my kitchen table. I poured tea. She wrapped her hands around the cup, but didn't drink. Mom, he says you're manipulating me. I smiled faintly. Do you feel manipulated? She shook her head slowly. I feel confused. Confusion is the fog control thrives in. I slid my phone across the table. Read this. She read the inheritance email. Her brows knitted together. What is this? Your grandfather's trust. Her lips parted. He told you. No. Tears welled in her eyes. He told me once, she whispered. When I was 19. He said, there will be something waiting for you when you're ready. I thought he meant emotionally. My heart broke a little. He meant financially, I said gently. She stared at the amount listed. He knows about this? Yes. Silence. Then her voice turned quiet. He asked me to upload my birth certificate last month. For what reason? He said he needed it for tax consolidation. Tax consolidation. Restructuring. Modernizing. Simplifying. Words that sounded responsible, but weren't. My phone buzzed again. A WhatsApp voice note. From him. I played it aloud. Nana May, I think it's best if you stop filling her head with conspiracies. We're handling our finances privately. This is a marriage, not a committee. My daughter closed her eyes. He always says things like that. What things? That I'm too influenced by you. Too emotional. And are you? She shook her head. No. I leaned forward. When did you start doubting your own thoughts? She didn't answer. Because that's how it happens. Not overnight, but slowly. Erosion. Her phone buzzed. Family group chat. His sister had posted a screenshot. It was a photo of last night's live stream with a caption, praying for mental clarity and healing. Praying. The humiliation was subtle, wrapped in concern. Comments flooded in. Stay strong, brother. Marriage is hard. Some mothers never let go. There it was. I was the villain now. She stared at the screen. They think I'm unstable. Do you think you are? I asked gently. Her silence was answer enough. Anger flared inside me. Not loud. Not explosive. Cold. Controlled. Call him, I said. She hesitated. Call him. Put it on speaker. She did. He answered quickly. You left without saying anything. I needed space, she replied. He sighed dramatically. This is exactly what I meant. What did you mean? She asked calmly. That you escalate. Did you attempt to activate my grandfather's trust? She asked directly. Silence. Long. Heavy. Where did you hear that? He finally said. That's not an answer. It's complicated. No, she said softly. It's not. His voice shifted. You don't understand the timing. Explain it. I was securing our future. By moving my inheritance early, it benefits both of us. And the psychological petition, she pressed. Another silence. That was precautionary. Precaution against what? Your volatility. Her hands trembled. Volatility, she repeated. You refused to sign. You caused a scene in public. You organized that scene, she said. His voice hardened. You're rewriting events. I stepped in. No, I said calmly. She's remembering them. He exhaled sharply. You're poisoning her. No, I replied. You're losing control. The line went quiet. Then he said something that made my stomach drop. You think freezing the lake property hurts me? My daughter looked at me. What does that mean? I didn't speak. I let him continue. Fine, he said. Let's open everything. He hung up. My phone buzzed instantly. A legal notice. Filed. Petition for marital asset review. Citing external family interference. He was escalating. Publicly. Legally. My daughter stared at the document. He's turning this into a war. No, I said softly. He already did. She looked at me then, not as a child. As a woman deciding. What if I file first, she asked. There it was. The reversal. Small, but powerful. Then you control the narrative, I said. Her phone buzzed again. This time, a direct message from her husband's mother. Sweetheart, don't destroy your marriage because of your mother's pride. Pride. I felt the sting of that word. After everything I sacrificed, I was now prideful. My daughter's eyes filled with tears. I tried so hard to fit in, she whispered. I know. I laughed when they teased me. I pretended the lake was funny. I reached for her hand. You said no. She nodded. They said I needed to loosen up. When did boundaries become defects? I asked quietly. She inhaled deeply. Mom, there's something else. My heart tightened. What? He asked me to transfer my maiden name assets into a joint holding structure last week. Did you? No. I postponed. Relief. But he already prepared the documents, she added. Of course he did. Preparation. Preemption. Control. My brother called again. I found something in the maiden name file, he said. What? There was a second beneficiary clause. I froze. Who? He hesitated. Your daughter's first child. My breath left me. She's not even pregnant. Exactly. The silence between us thickened. If he controlled her fertility records, if he controlled medical consent, if he controlled psychological evaluations, then the inheritance could be positioned under future guardianship. My stomach churned. This was bigger than property. It was generational. He wasn't planning a marriage. He was planning a dynasty. I looked at my daughter. Did he pressure you about pregnancy timing? Her eyes widened. Yes. How often? Constantly. The pattern was no longer subtle. It was strategic. Her phone buzzed again. Another message from the family group. This time, a poll. Should we host an intervention? Intervention. The humiliation had gone digital. Crowdsourced. My daughter stared at it. They're voting on me. I felt anger rise again, but I kept my voice steady. They don't get to define you. She looked at me slowly. What if I walk away? The question hung between us. Heavy. Sacred. What are you afraid of? I asked gently. Being alone. My heart softened. You won't be. Silence. Then she whispered. I think he knew about the trust before I did. That sentence changed everything. How? I asked. She swallowed. Grandfather met him once. My pulse jumped. When? 2 years before he passed. My mind raced. My father had always been careful, protective, selective, unless he had seen something or been persuaded. My phone buzzed one last time that morning. From my brother. Just one line. There's a signature discrepancy in the trust activation attempt. What kind of discrepancy? I typed. His reply came quickly. It wasn't filed from your son-in-law's IP address. I went still. Then whose? I whispered. My phone rang immediately. My brother didn't wait for text. Nana, he said quietly. The activation attempt came from inside your daughter's account. I stared at my daughter. She stared back. I didn't file anything, she said. I believed her, which meant only one thing. Someone had accessed her credentials from inside the house, or from inside the family. And suddenly, this wasn't just about a controlling husband. It was about who else was helping him. Because if someone inside that family knew about the maiden name trust, then the lake push, the live stream, the evaluation, they weren't isolated incidents. They were coordinated. And the worst part? I had a feeling the person helping him was someone my daughter trusted. My name is Nana May, and this happened to me. The poll reached 63 votes in under an hour. Should we host an intervention? Yes, 78%. No, 22%. Intervention. For my daughter. Like she was an unstable relative no one knew how to handle. The comments were worse. She's been different since she started listening to her mother. Marriage requires sacrifice. We just want her well. Well, that word again. I watched my daughter scroll through the messages, her thumb trembling slightly. They're planning it for Sunday, she whispered. Where? I asked. At the lake. Of course. Public humiliation, part 2. I inhaled slowly. Did you agree? She shook her head. He told them I did. My chest tightened. How long has he been speaking for you? Her silence answered. She suddenly opened another message thread. Private chat. Her husband's cousin. I didn't vote. Call me. My daughter looked at me. Should I? Yes. She pressed call. The cousin answered quickly. I'm sorry, she said immediately. This has gone too far. How long have you known? My daughter asked. A pause. About the trust? My heart skipped. You knew, my daughter breathed. I saw documents on his laptop last month. He was bragging to his uncle about early activation. I thought you knew. Silence. Why didn't you tell me? My daughter asked, voice cracking. I was afraid, the cousin admitted. He said it was confidential. Confidential. My daughter closed her eyes. I didn't file anything. I believe you, the cousin said. But someone used your credentials. Who? I asked gently. There was hesitation. Then, his mother. The room went still. My daughter's breath caught. What? She handles all his family admin accounts. Password resets. Shared access. She prides herself on being organized. Organized. The same word. She asked for your birth certificate copy, the cousin continued quietly. Said she needed it for a legacy binder. Legacy. I felt something cold settle into my bones. They weren't just coordinating. They were orchestrating. How do you know this? I asked. Because she asked me to upload something for her once. From his office computer. My daughter swallowed. What was it? A notarized letter authorizing preliminary trust review. My hands tightened around my teacup. So she accessed my account, my daughter whispered. Yes. Without telling me. Yes. The cousin's voice lowered. Please be careful. The intervention isn't about helping you. Then what is it about? My daughter asked. Documentation. Documentation. My brother's word echoed in my mind. They were building a case. Live stream humiliation. Wellness checks. Poll results. Witness statements. If she resisted publicly at the intervention, they could frame it as instability. If she cried, emotional volatility. If she stayed calm, cold detachment. It was a trap. My daughter ended the call slowly. She voted yes, she whispered. On what? I asked. The intervention. Of course she did. Sympathy on the surface. Alignment underneath. Anger rose inside me, but I kept my voice soft. You have two choices. What? She asked. Attend and walk into their narrative. Or attend and break it. She looked at me carefully. How? I leaned back. By speaking first. She hesitated. They won't let me. They won't expect you to. Silence stretched between us. Then she whispered. I'm scared. I know. I don't want to lose my marriage. I nodded slowly. Are you sure you still have it? That question lingered. Painful. Honest. Her phone buzzed again. This time from her husband directly. We need to show unity Sunday. Don't embarrass us. Embarrass us. Not embarrass you. Not embarrass me. Us. The collective family reputation. She typed back. What exactly is the intervention about? He responded almost instantly. Your recent instability and external influence. External influence. Me. She stared at the message. Mom, am I destroying my own marriage? I met her eyes. Or are you finally seeing it clearly? She didn't answer. Because clarity hurts. My phone buzzed. My brother again. I've initiated a legal challenge on the trust activation, he said without greeting. How long do we have? I asked. 42 hours before the clause locks. 42 hours. The intervention was in 36. Strategic timing. They planned to destabilize her publicly before the challenge deadline. If she appeared unstable on video, they could use it to dispute her objection. My brother continued. I also found something else. What now? I whispered. The psychological petition wasn't just precautionary. What do you mean? It included a draft recommendation for temporary financial guardianship. I felt the air leave my lungs. Guardianship. She's 34, I said. Doesn't matter if instability is documented. I closed my eyes. I stayed quiet to keep the peace. And they interpreted it as weakness, he replied. I opened my eyes slowly. No more quiet. When my daughter left that afternoon, she looked different. Not calmer, not relieved, but aware. Awareness is uncomfortable. It strips illusions. That evening, the family group chat became louder. Memes about mental clarity. Bible verses about obedience. Subtle digs about toxic influences. I didn't respond, but I watched, because sometimes silence is strategy. Then, at 9:03 p.m., something unexpected happened. The poll disappeared, deleted, replaced with a message from the cousin. Maybe we should talk privately instead of publicly. Comments flooded in. Her husband replied, Transparency is important. Transparency. The word tasted bitter now. And then, a screenshot appeared. Not from me, not from my daughter, from the cousin. It was a partial image of a document header. Preliminary trust activation. Maiden name beneficiary. Gasps in the chat. Questions. Confusion. His sister wrote, What is this? His mother responded, Private family matter. The cousin typed, Then why is it being filed without her consent? Silence. For a full minute. Then, her husband sent a voice note. We listened together on speaker. This is being taken out of context. Early planning is responsible. Nana May is manipulating everyone. There it was again. My name. Positioned as source of chaos. I felt sadness more than anger. After everything I sacrificed, I was now narrative enemy. My daughter picked up her phone. She pressed record. I would like to clarify something, she said calmly. Her voice steady. I did not authorize early activation of my grandfather's trust. I did not request a psychological evaluation. I did not consent to public intervention. Silence in the chat. She continued. I said no at the lake. I said no at the clinic. I am saying no now. Her husband typed. You're being dramatic. She responded. No, I'm being clear. The chat exploded. Divided now. Some defending him. Some questioning. Power shifting. Slowly. But then, his mother typed something that made my blood run cold. If she continues this path, we will proceed legally. Proceed legally. Against their own daughter-in-law. My daughter's face paled. Mom, I placed my hand over hers. What if they take me to court? They might. And if they do, we'll be ready. Her phone buzzed privately. From her husband. You're forcing my hand. She showed me. What does that mean? She whispered. Before I could answer, another message arrived. From an unknown number. You should check your medical portal. She froze. What? She logged in. Password reset. New notification. Consent update. Fertility directive. She opened it. Her face drained of color. He filed for embryo preservation authorization, she whispered. My heart pounded. Without her? Without discussion? He marked himself as primary decision maker. I felt cold. Did you sign anything? No. The timestamp was 2 days ago. 2 days before the lake. Before the clinic. Before the evaluation. This wasn't reactive. It was planned. My phone buzzed again. My brother. Guardianship petition draft updated, he said quietly. How? It now includes potential future child welfare oversight. I sat down slowly. Future child. They weren't just securing assets. They were securing legacy control. My daughter looked at me. What are they trying to do? I spoke carefully. They're building a structure where you are emotionally unstable, financially supervised, and maternally monitored. Her eyes filled with tears. I married him. Yes. And I didn't see it. No, I said gently. You trusted. She covered her face. I feel so stupid. You are not stupid. I feel trapped. You are not trapped. She looked up. How do you know? Because in that moment, my phone buzzed one last time. A notification from the court system. Filed under her maiden name. Petition received. Emergency asset freeze request. Submitted by beneficiary. She stared at me. I didn't file that. I smiled softly. No. Her phone buzzed again. A text from my brother. I did. Her husband's typing indicator appeared in the group chat. Then stopped. Then appeared again. Finally, a message. What did you do? My daughter looked at me. What did we do? She whispered. I met her eyes. We made the first move. But what none of us knew yet was that the intervention wasn't canceled. It had been upgraded, because early the next morning, a formal invitation arrived, not to a family gathering, but to a mediation hearing. Location, the lake house, and this time,